Greetings and salutations, everybody. This is EJ, the musical dating coach. I believe music is a medicine. I believe God is the ingredient, and I believe that I've been empowered to write the prescription. It is my desire to teach creatives artistic communication through the avenues of music, motivation, and spirituality. Have you ever gotten on stage or gotten before a crowd and were extremely nervous? Let me share my story with you. Let's get into it. Yeah, so like growing up, I had a speech impediment. Called stuttering, right? And if you don't know what stuttering is just like where your mind, your brain thinks faster than your mouth can move, and so you go to stuttering. There are many celebrities who deal with stuttering, like Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis, former Vice President Joe Biden, James Earl Jones. They all have dealt with stuttering, and you will never know it today. But even today, they say that they still suffer a bit with stuttering. So stuttering is not something that's uncommon, and many successful people deal with this particular issue. And there are many things that can trigger stuttering, like being upset or being excited or whatever. And so growing up, like I had that real bad speech impediment. Like I couldn't get 2 or 3 words out without getting angry or hitting the floor or wanting to kick somebody. Like it was really frustrating growing up. And I remember the earliest memory I have of it is like in elementary school, right? So in elementary school, I'll never forget it. I was in Miss White's class, and we were doing some type of activity or something, and there was a kid in my class named Leroy. Now me and Leroy got along cool, like there was no issues with me and Leroy, but for this day, for some reason, me and Leroy just could not get along, and like it got so bad that like we was getting ready to fight, like we was gonna throw blows, like I was getting ready to hit that dude, you know what I mean? And so Miss White, like she jumped in between us, and I remember it like yesterday. This was back in the day when teachers could actually put their hands on you. So she grabbed me, and she grabbed me right here, and she said, "You better get yourself together. What are you doing? Have you lost your mind, young man?" And you know how teachers do. And so she sent me to the principal's office. Actually, it was the vice principal's office. I'll never forget it. It was her name was Miss Matthews, and I went to Miss Matthews' office, and she had me sit in her office, and she wanted me to explain to her what had happened. What happened in the class with you and Leroy. And so because I had this speech impediment and I was upset, I could not explain to her. Like every time I would go to try to tell her, I start stuttering, and I'd be like, he put his hands on me, and he was saying this, and he was saying that, and I just couldn't get it out. And she kept saying to me, calm down and tell me, I could never calm down and tell her. Like I stayed in her office probably like all day, and I remember she even had lunch. Like they brought me my lunch from the cafeteria in her office, and then I'll never forget it, she was eating some Bojangles chicken. That chicken was so juicy, man. I was like, she's gonna sit in here, I'm eating this cafeteria lunch, she's gonna sit up in here and eat this Bojangles chicken in front of me. But anyway, that's my earliest memory of having that speech impediment, right? But what I remember most about having that speech impediment growing up was how it caused an insecurity in me, right? And I was insecure about speaking in front of people. I was very insecure, so it caused a nervousness in me about being in front of a crowd. So listen, so I know I'm talking to creatives, and anybody that's ever been around a creative, or anybody that knows a creative, or anybody that lives with a creative knows that we are some really special people, okay? So most creatives have something that they deal with, or some insecurity that they have to cope with and conquer when performing in front of people. And like I said, growing up, like I had to conquer that, like getting on the stage, talking in front of people, being confident. And I want to share with you 3 things that you must do in order to conquer your insecurity as a creative. Number 1, the first thing I did was I embraced it. So the first thing is I had to embrace the fact that I have this speech impediment. And I use the word have present tense because even today, if I get excited or if I get upset, it'll still come up. Now I have learned how to master it, but it has not gone away. So the first thing you have to do is you have to embrace the fact that, okay, I have this, and also entertain the idea that maybe I have this because it makes me unique. All right. Number 2, what I started doing is finding ways to cope with it, or finding ways to lessen the effects of it. So what I started doing was I started listening to, growing up, I used to love to listen to TD Jakes. I would listen to Creflo Dollar. I would listen to Juanita Bynum, Les Brown. I would listen to all these different people. And what I started doing was I started emulating them, how they would speak. And that helped to cultivate my ability to navigate my stuttering and to slow down and to learn speech patterns, things of that nature. The third thing I had to learn to do was use it as my opponent on stage. What do I mean? So when I get on stage, and of course I'm a singer, so I sing, but before you sing, you have to do banter with the audience and things of that nature. And so what I do is every time I get on stage, after I meditate and ground myself and get myself to the point where I'm ready to exchange energy with the audience, I say to my stuttering, I know you're going on stage with me, and me and you are going to go toe to toe. And I don't run away from it. I use every opportunity to conquer it. When I get on stage, do I stutter sometimes? Absolutely, because I get excited and I'm exchanging energy. But at the same time, I don't let my limitation, or what seems to be something that causes insecurity, stop me from operating in my gifts, talents, and abilities. And I don't know what it is that you're dealing with, or what you're suffering with, or maybe you don't think you look good, or maybe you don't think you sing good, or maybe you don't think that you fit the bill. Take that on stage with you and channel your ability to fight and conquer that. The audience will feel that every single time. They will feel that you are conquering something, and that energy will transpire to the audience. I learned how to conquer my speech impediment. I learned how to embrace it. I learned how to know that it was a beautiful thing and it makes me who I am today. So don't get frustrated and I don't feel like you're less than, or feel like you don't measure up because you have something that you feel is different from everybody else. Embrace it and use it to the best of your ability. That is how you are able to stand in front of people in spite of your insecurities and win every time. Once again,